Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into a game that's as much about the journey as it is about the destination, a pizza delivery. Now, you might be thinking, pizza delivery? That's got to be a frantic timer-based arcade game, right? Well, not quite. This indie title, developed by Eric Asuna and published by Dolores Entertainment, takes the humble act of delivering pizza and spins it into a surreal, introspective adventure. It's available on PC, PlayStation 5, and Xbox, and it's been making waves in the cozy gaming scene for its unique blend of narrative exploration, puzzle solving, and atmospheric storytelling. So, is a pizza delivery a piping hot slice of indie brilliance, or does it arrive a little undercooked? Stick around as we break down the gameplay, story, visuals, sound, replayability, and more. And as always, if you enjoy honest, in depth reviews of indie gems and hidden curiosities, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell for more content just like this. Let's kick things off with the gameplay, because this is where a pizza delivery both charms and at times frustrates. You play as B, a young pizza delivery rider on her last job of the day. But this isn't your typical city run. Soon after your first delivery, things get weird. The world morphs into a dreamlike limbo, and your journey becomes less about getting pizza to a customer and more about exploring strange landscapes, solving light puzzles, and connecting with the lost souls you meet along the way. The core gameplay loop is simple. Hop on your trusty red scooter, ride through a series of surreal environments, dismount to explore on foot, and interact with the world. You'll encounter a handful of NPCs, each with their own stories, and sometimes a puzzle or two to solve. These puzzles range from finding keys and passwords to navigating environmental hazards like shielding your pizza from the rain or weaving between falling train carriages. One of the standout mechanics is the act of sharing pizza. Besides your main delivery, you carry an extra pie in your scooter's cargo box. Whenever you meet someone new, you can offer them a slice. Sometimes this unlocks a bit more of their story, sometimes it's just a small act of kindness. It's a simple system, but it ties beautifully into the game's themes of connection and empathy. But let's be honest, the controls can be a bit of a mixed bag. Riding the scooter feels meditative at times, especially with the ambient soundtrack in the background, but the camera doesn't always cooperate. It's not locked behind you, which means you can pan around and soak in the scenery. But it also makes steering a little awkward, especially in tight spaces or when you're trying to avoid obstacles. Getting on and off the scooter involves a slow animation, which, while realistic, can get tedious if you're hopping on and off frequently. Puzzles are generally light and accessible, but there are moments where the game's lack of direction can leave you feeling lost. For example, a late game Blizzard section asks you to go south, but if you follow the compass literally, you'll just loop endlessly. The solution is to veer off the path, but the game never tells you that. It's one of several moments where the design feels a bit too opaque for its own good. And then there are the bugs. We'll talk more about technical issues later, but suffice it to say, they can and do impact the gameplay experience, from physics glitches to progression blocking bugs. In summary, the gameplay in a pizza delivery is simple, meditative, and sometimes clever, but it's held back by awkward controls, occasional lack of direction, and technical hiccups. If you're looking for fast paced action or deep systems, this isn't the game for you. But if you enjoy slow, reflective exploration with a few light puzzles, there's something here worth savouring. Now, let's talk about the story, because this is where a pizza delivery aims to deliver its most meaningful slice. You play as B, a quiet, reserved delivery rider tasked with making her final delivery for the day. What starts as a mundane errand quickly spirals into a surreal journey through a liminal world, a kind of dreamlike limbo where people go when they're stuck in life, feeling empty or unfulfilled. The narrative is minimalist and open to interpretation. You'll meet a handful of characters, each wrestling with their own regrets, memories, or longing for connection. Some are trapped by memories they can't let go of. Others are searching for a way forward. The conversations are brief, sometimes cryptic, but they touch on themes of isolation, hope, and the small acts that can bring people together. Bea herself is more of a listener than a talker. Her backstory is revealed through environmental storytelling, collectibles, memory items, and subtle visual cues. You'll find trinkets that hint at her past, like a record that belonged to her dad, or a photo of a girlfriend she once travelled with. These fragments slowly piece together a portrait of someone who's lost, searching for meaning and perhaps healing. The act of sharing pizza becomes symbolic, a way of opening doors, forging connections, and helping others move on. It's a gentle metaphor for empathy and kindness, and it's woven into the gameplay in a way that feels organic rather than forced. But here's the thing: the story is intentionally vague. It asks you to fill in the blanks, to interpret the meaning behind the encounters and the world itself. For some players, this open endedness is a strength, inviting reflection and personal interpretation. For others, it can feel unsatisfying or incomplete. The game touches on big ideas, memory, depression, the struggle to move forward, but it rarely digs deep enough to leave a lasting emotional impact. There are moments of genuine poignancy, a conversation about loss, a quiet ride under the aurora, a simple act of kindness that helps someone remember who they are. But there are also stretches where the narrative feels fragmented, the characters underdeveloped, and the emotional beats a little too subtle for their own good. Bottom line, if you enjoy games that leave space for interpretation, that use silence and small gestures to tell their story, a pizza delivery offers a thoughtful, if sometimes elusive, narrative experience. But if you're looking for a tightly plotted story with clear resolutions, you might find yourself wanting more. Visually, a pizza delivery is a treat when it works as intended. The game leans into a painterly, dreamlike art style with soft pastels, glowing sunsets, and aurora lit night skies. The environments are varied and atmospheric, ranging from rain soaked city streets to windswept prairies and surreal liminal spaces. There's a sense of melancholy and beauty in the world, as if you're exploring someone's fragmented memory rather than a physical place. Character models are simple but expressive, with a clay like, almost stop motion quality that fits the game's surreal tone. B's red scooter is iconic, and the animations, while sometimes stiff, convey a sense of weight and presence. Lighting is a standout feature. The use of warm, natural light, especially during long rides, creates moments of genuine visual poetry. Whether you're cruising under a sky painted with auroras or watching the sun set over a field of sunflowers, the game knows how to set a mood. But, and this is a big but, the visuals are inconsistent. When everything loads correctly, the game is gorgeous, but technical issues can mar the experience. Texture popping, missing assets, and visual bugs are all too common. There are moments where the world feels unfinished, with empty fields, visible seams, or objects failing to load entirely. These glitches can break immersion and, in some cases, block progression. Despite these issues, the overall aesthetic is strong. The art direction carries the game even when the technical execution falters. If you're a fan of games like Season A Letter to the Future or Journey, you'll appreciate the emphasis on atmosphere and mood over raw graphical fidelity. In short, a pizza delivery delivers a visually striking, dreamlike world that's a joy to explore when the technical gremlins stay at bay. Let's talk about the audio, because this is one area where a pizza delivery consistently shines. The soundtrack is a blend of ambient, melancholic melodies and subtle environmental sounds. Composed and curated by La Francesa, the music uses MIDI pianos, electric synthesizers, and textured soundscapes to amplify the emotions of each scene. It's not flashy or bombastic. Instead, it's quietly powerful, enhancing the game's introspective mood without ever overwhelming it. You'll hear the hum of B's scooter, the patter of rain on tin roofs, the distant call of birds, and the soft swells of music as you ride through shifting landscapes. The audio design is thoughtful and restrained, using silence as effectively as sound to create a sense of space and reflection. There are moments where the music and visuals come together perfectly: a ride under the aurora, a quiet moment by a payphone, a gentle acoustic guitar riff that cuts through the gloom. These are the moments that linger, that make the journey feel meaningful even when the gameplay stumbles. Voice acting is minimal, with most dialogue delivered through text. This choice fits the game's minimalist approach, allowing the music and environmental sounds to take center stage. In summary, the sound design and music in a pizza delivery are understated but effective, creating an immersive, meditative atmosphere that elevates the entire experience. So, how long does it take to deliver this pizza? And is it worth coming back for seconds? A pizza delivery is a short game. Most players will finish the main story in about 1.5 to 3 hours, depending on how much time you spend exploring, solving optional puzzles, and sharing pizza with every character you meet. There is some replayability thanks to optional achievements and different ways to approach the journey. For example, you can choose to deliver pizza to everyone you meet or to no one at all. There are collectibles that flesh out the backstory and a few branching moments that offer minor variations in dialogue or outcome. However, the replay value is limited. The core experience doesn't change much on subsequent playthroughs, and some achievements are reportedly bugged, making completionist runs frustrating or impossible. Given the game's brief runtime and lack of significant branching paths, most players will see everything worth seeing in a single playthrough. That said, if you're the type who enjoys soaking in atmosphere, revisiting favourite moments, or hunting for every last secret, there's a bit more to uncover. Bottom line, a pizza delivery is a one evening experience for most players. It's short, sweet, and best enjoyed in a single sitting, like a good indie film. Alright, let's bring it all together. A pizza delivery is a game that wears its heart on its sleeve. It's a short, surreal journey through memory, connection, and the small acts that make life meaningful. The visuals are often stunning, the music is quietly beautiful, and the themes, while subtle, invite reflection and empathy. But it's also a game that stumbles in its execution. Technical issues, clunky controls, and a lack of polish can turn moments of introspection into frustration. The story, while heartfelt, sometimes feels too vague or underdeveloped to leave a lasting impact. And at its current price point, the brief runtime and limited replayability may give some players pause. So, should you play it? If you're a fan of cozy, narrative driven indies, if you love games like Season, A Letter to the Future, Journey, or A Short Hike, and you're willing to forgive some rough edges, a pizza delivery is worth a look. It's not perfect, but it's honest, personal, and occasionally profound. If you're looking for a polished, bug-free experience, deep mechanics, or a tightly plotted story, you might want to wait for a patch or a sale, or check out some of the other great games in the genre. Final verdict: a pizza delivery is a meaningful slice of indie gaming, flawed but full of heart. It's a game that's easy to respect, even if it's sometimes hard to love. If you're in the mood for a quiet, contemplative journey, give it a try. Just be prepared for a few bumps along the way. I'm giving a pizza delivery 7 out of 10. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this review, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more honest takes on indie games and hidden gems. Have you played a pizza delivery? Did it deliver for you, or did it leave you hungry for more? Let me know in the comments below. Until next time, keep gaming, keep exploring, and remember, sometimes the smallest acts of kindness can make the biggest difference.